Hey y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I am Susan, your hostess, and today we're doing Frugal Living Challenge 25 and Intentional Living. The Frugal Living Challenge 25 is an open collaboration through the month of December. So if you are a channel content creator out there and you want to jump on board, just make sure you're using the hashtag and tagging my channel. There is an official playlist below that you can also tag in on your video. So what are we doing today? We are going to talk about our grocery haul for this week. We did find our meat. Our local meat vendor is only selling out of Lexington now. So we took a trip to Lexington and we picked up 10 pounds of organic ground beef and a couple of pork chops that were delicious last night, by the way. And some of these are from our garden, and most of these are from the Amish community. A few of them are from our farmer's market or a grocery store. But I'm going to start out by showing you this beautiful towel that is hand embroidered, and I use these towels out in the garden because they work really great for capturing the sweat. But I thought that was so sweet. And the Amish lady that makes these, she only wants $7 a piece for them, and she does such a nice job on them. I thought, well, I'm just going to buy one of these. So that was my one and only I won't purchase, really. So I'm going to pull the camera down so we can zoom in on what I have purchased. We purchased a lot of fruit this week. That is for a video that is upcoming, and y'all be on the lookout for the Jazzy June Snacks 25. But I did pick up a bunch of bananas. I like bananas. It's not the most friendly fruit to have for a diabetic, but if you eat it in small portions, it doesn't spike your sugar. I also picked up some fresh peaches. Oh, they smell heavenly. And our blackberries aren't ready yet, so I picked up a container of blackberries. Can y'all see all that goodness in there? Yum, yum. At the grocery store, I picked up some strawberries because the strawberries were too expensive at the vendors. So we got some fresh strawberries. And a beautifully ripe cantaloupe or muskmelon. They're actually muskmelons in the States. We don't actually have cantaloupes here. And it's ready to cut and ready to be used. Before we get into the vegetables, I would like to tell you about the Garden 25 Sow It, Grow It collaboration. I have a new plant in my garden. You're going to have to stay tuned to find out what that is next week. One other store purchase I made is because I need some on my pantry shelf is carrots. And this particular store has a 1 pound bag for 75 cents. They wanted $4 for $3 for 4 carrots at the farmer's market. And I said, well, I'm not going to pay that price for them. We did grow a couple of cucumbers. My husband picked this one a little bit too soon, but I love cucumbers, fresh cucumbers, and we also picked up one from the Amish community for $1.25 for that one. Let me see if I can move stuff around. And I got a big basket of broccoli florets. Now this is the shoots that come off the side of the broccoli. So a lot of this is already pre-cut for me, and I won't have to do much cutting, but this is going to go into our freezer. These are kohlrabi. We ate it for the first time last night. I did a roasted kohlrabi, and it was kind of like eating a turnip. So you can eat it raw and you can eat it cooked. So these are German radish, and I think we might grow these next year, or attempt to grow them. They're quite tasty, so I thought that would be something good and interesting to have on our menu. I've got a big pan of green beans back here that I'm going to cook and probably freeze whatever's remaining because we've got to have supper tonight. I've got a big Coca-Cola box full of red potatoes. These are organically grown by the Amish. I think we paid $1.25 a pound, maybe $2 a pound for them. And I'm going to be canning those. It's bigger than my head, literally. This is a humongous head of cabbage, and this will be several meals for my husband and I. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to take part of it and make coleslaw, and then the rest will be boiled down, and part of it will go into the freezer for another meal or two. I'm going to probably be working on just some of the vegetables today. So I've washed my green beans, and they've got some blemishes. Let's see, can y'all see the blemish? So what I usually do is I just cut those off, or I'll trim them because they're only on the top. And we like our green beans kind of small. And I've got a big pot of water sitting back here that I can put them in as I process these. And I'll get those cooking once we get through getting them chopped up. here's our ground beef. We get this from Hayes Family Farms, and it's organically processed and everything. So we'll be having that for supper tonight. And I didn't show you the squash, but we bought some squash from the Amish, and this is going to be added to the dehydrator today so that I can get that dehydrated and get it into my long-term storage in my pantry. The red potatoes are going to be another video, maybe. I say maybe because I may already have a potato canning video out there. I'll have to check and see. But canned potatoes, if they're done correctly, does not spike my sugar so that I can consume them in moderation. So we like to have canned potatoes on our shelves. Get your meat thawing. I also have some fresh tomatoes, and my neighbor actually gave us some fresh tomatoes. And so I'm going to take those tomatoes and cucumber and make a nice little salad. The broccoli I'm going to get processed, and I'm going to get it bagged up and put into the freezer. Hey friends, thank you so much for watching my channel. Thank you for the many comments, the likes, the friendships, and for sharing this content out. Take a moment and watch all of the advertisements because that is how I get monetized and get paid. I appreciate each and every one of you for your time and your patience. And y'all, I have this special content over here I think you might like.